Coming up on this episode of Aftershock,
we're meeting the student genius behind My Elijah.
Gabby tells us the story of a student's journey to overcome adversity.
And Alexa catches us up on all things Lightning Athletics.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Alyssa Wheelock.
And I'm Alex Land. And Aftershock starts now.
There are a lot of talented students here on campus.
I agree. One student even wrote his own musical.
The process for the musical, it kind of started, I would say probably before freshman year. The concept is very different than what it is now. I had this dream in the very end of 8th grade where I was watching this performance, and it had to do a lot with what the musical is about. And from there I just started creating the plot for the story. And then I would say sophomore year of high school, I then started actually making the music for the show. Fun fact about the EP, it's mainly part of my sister's senior thesis. My sister Valentina, she just graduated from University of the Arts. So for her senior thesis, she wanted to do not just one aspect of her major, but she wanted to do a little bit of everything. So she said, hey, how many songs do you have written? I said, I think 2. And so she asked me to finish 3 more songs and we can make an EP for my senior thesis, and I said sure. And so I wrote the music, I wrote the whole score for all the songs. I flew up to Philadelphia, and in the recording studio at her school, we actually recorded all the songs. And just the whole thing, not just the whole process and all the publication, just I looked at the bigger picture and I just realized, oh my God, I can't believe this is actually gonna happen. And music kind of helped me, and also the arts in general just helped me realize that I'm actually more intelligent than I think I am. And just this whole experience with music and also writing this, it's helped me just become a better person and just helped me become who I am today.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Call 911 and get an AED. This is how chest compressions are done. You place one hand over another, lean forward, keep your back straight, and don't bend your arms. Then push down in the middle chest area of the breastbone. Make sure to press down 2 inches and push into the chest at the rhythm of Stayin Alive. Ah, 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 Stayin Alive.
Graduation's coming up, and seniors are loading everything onto their resumes.
Here's one senior who has gone above and beyond for his college transition.
Kyle King is the president of UNICEF Club of Cypress Bay. However, it could sometimes be harder to juggle school, UNICEF, and a social life.
I had to meet an important person before this today, and I had all my homework written on my hand. And right before he came into the place I was waiting for him, and he said, hey, I said to myself, hey, I probably shouldn't have all my homework written here, because he's going to be like, why do you suck at stuff?
With over 50 clubs at the Bay to choose from, UNICEF's mission stood out to Kyle.
So actually, I didn't know what UNICEF was when I started high school, but my 9th grade Spanish teacher was Miss Sachs, who's the sponsor of UNICEF at Cypress, and she asked me if I wanted to stay after school one day and do some activities with the board. And when I did that, I started to get a little better idea of what UNICEF was, and I would start researching UNICEF and their impact around the world, particularly in third world countries, providing education to kids who wouldn't have access to it otherwise. And I felt like I really connected to the mission, and I wanted to do all I could to support it.
Kyle's sisters helped to pave the way for him by setting a strong example.
He's got two sisters and they're very different. Kyle's eldest sister was really into academics like Kyle is at Cypress and did extremely well. And our middle daughter, Carolyn, was super into theater at Cypress. And she worked very, very hard in that dimension. So Kyle picked up, I think, traits from both of them.
Kyle's collaborative spirit has led him to say, Cypress Bay UNICEF has become the #1 UNICEF club in the country, and he couldn't do it without his members.
We reached it really because members are incredible in our club. When I, for my national position, go to other clubs around the country and I see kind of their member base, I'm always so happy that we have the Cypress Bay students because they really participate in fundraisers like no other club in the country does. How do we maintain it? It takes a lot of organization. It takes a lot of papers, a lot of binders. It's a hassle, but it's totally worth it because the money that we're able to donate to UNICEF and the work that money is able to do is really remarkable.
As Kyle's senior year comes to a close, he awaits on selective colleges and hopes to continue his academic success. Ryan Argerina, CBTV.
What's up, Cypress Bay? Welcome to Netflix and Burn, where the movie synopsises are hot and our contestants are hotter. I'm joined on my right by the Knicks and on my left by the Flannels. Let's see who will win Netflix and Burn. In this movie, this teen convinces his entire school that he's at death's door, then hits the streets of Chicago with his girlfriend and best friend for a day of fun.
What? Ferris Bueller?
That is correct.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
You got it on your chin. You didn't even get on. So, current score, 1-0.
We know.
Flannels up. After moving to Beijing with his mother, this kid...
This is nothing.
He just... Go. Damn you, Lewis.
What? It's nothing. It's good.
An epic tale in which an intrepid archaeologist tries to beat a band of Nazis to a unique religious relic, which is central to their plans of world domination.
Indiana Jones in the Lost Ark.
That is correct.
Habaneros, habaneros, habaneros. Do we have to eat the whole thing? Habaneros,
Give me a good
habaneros.
And then if it's not loud enough, you'll be excited. Alright. In 3, 2, 1, go. Bite it. Lewis, bite more. Get to the seeds. Lewis, bite more. Get to the seeds. That's not hot, that part.
Oh my god, no, it is.
Eat more.
No.
It tastes disgusting.
Oh, the taste is the problem. No, eat more.
It just kicked in. Notice when it kicked into it. Oh my god.
Wow.
It kicks in, yeah. Oh my god.
It actually hurts.
I've never
Not
had
having powers.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Wow, that actually hurts. Oh god.
She's actually tearing up.
Well, they're struggling. Let me just thank you guys for watching. That has been Netflix and Burn. Again, congratulations to our winners, and goodbye.
Oh my god.
Here's Alexa with this week's Lightning Athletics.
What's up, Cypress Bay? To start the new year off right, the boys hockey team faced off against Stoneman Douglas in a close matchup on January 10th, and Dean caught all the action.
On Friday, January 12th, the Lightning struck the ice as they went up against the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Eagles. Starting off the first period, MSD Eagles flew by the Lightning's defense, scoring in the first goal of the night. Cypress Bay returned the goal with an electrifying attack on MSD's defense, tying the end of the first period 1-1. Second period was a tight back-and-forth scramble between Cypress Bay and Stoneman Douglas, who held a 1-point advantage of 3-2. The brawl continued as the teams broke leads up until the last 8 minutes, where Cypress Bay leaped ahead, racking up 4 additional points, winning the game despite Stoneman's 2. This is the Lightning's best game thus far this 2020 season.
After coming off of a loss against MacArthur, the Cypress Bay boys basketball team tried to turn their even record into a winning one while playing against Piper on January 8th. Here's Alex with the coverage.
The Cypress Bay Lightning hosted the Piper Bengals in a highly anticipated matchup. The Bengals started off hot, scoring 8 points right away, silencing the Lightning Lunatics. The Lightning worked some great ball movement to put up points on the board towards the end of the first quarter. Great physical defense was shown by both teams all first half, leaving a close score of 21-20 with the Lightning leading by 1. The Cypress Bay Lightning seemed to be ignited by Coach Loki throughout the third quarter, keeping a solid lead with some great offense until the Bengals rallied together to cut the lead to 2 with 15 seconds left. The Bengals drew up a solid last-second play, but was interrupted by a game-clinching steal from our very own Jordan Hines. The Lightning went on to win this game 49-47. Their next game is against Everglades High on Friday, January 17th.
That's all for this week's Lightning Athletics. I'm Alexa Podolsky, CBTV Sports.
Gabby met with a senior who had to undergo surgery in order to pursue her passion.
Here she is with the story.
Sylvia Zervos is a senior who has a passion for musical theater, but a recent diagnosis has temporarily hindered her from doing what she loves.
Randomly, out of nowhere, I decided to go to my singing teacher, and at the end of the lesson, she pointed to my neck and said, "You have a bump on your neck." So I went home crying to my parents. They did what's called a fine needle biopsy, and they stuck 5 tiny needles into my neck, and they found out that it was a cancerous thyroid nodule. It was nothing that would affect me, but I had to go and I had to get it removed. Once I started getting on the medication and they started prepping me for surgery, and it got to a point where I wasn't able to talk 2 weeks before my surgery, so it took away my entire voice and I couldn't do auditions. And then recovery took about 5 to 6 weeks. Me being a singer and performing, I couldn't do any physical activity. I couldn't sing for 5 weeks. My voice was gone.
Being stuck on bed rest, Sylvia's friends and family made sure they comforted her in any way they could.
When Sylvia was recovering from her surgery, I went over her house and brought over her favorite ice creams and stuff, and I tried to provide some comic relief.
After the surgery, it was still difficult, especially because the pain was so tremendous. I wanted to let her know that there were people that were there for her, that wanted to make sure she was okay, and ultimately it'll heal and she'll feel better than ever.
A few months later, and Sylvia is already back on her feet rehearsing for the musical. Gabby Kernis, CBTV.
Hi, my name is Robert Recapito, and this is my Hyundai Genesis 2.0 Coupe 2012 model. So my car has a 4-cylinder engine. My 0 to 60 is 6 seconds, and my top speed is 140 miles per hour. My modification is suspension, motive wheels, and a turbo. My car also has cloth seats, a regular screen, and Bluetooth, and I also have an electric sunroof. My car has an automatic transmission and also has a manual mode with paddle shifters. The reason why I chose a 2-door instead of a 4-door is because it makes my car look more sportier and it's fun to have. Once I go to college, I'm not really gonna use my car as much, and I think I'm probably gonna sell it later in the future to buy a newer car and a better car.
That's all for this week's episode of Aftershock.
If you want to watch previous episodes, visit us at cypressbaytv.com.
And while you're at it, follow us on social media at Cypress Bay CBTV and add us on Snapchat at Cypress Bay TV. I'm Alex Land.
And I'm Melissa Wheelock. Thanks for watching.